Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Saturday, September 14th, 2024, on the day of the Witch and the Wizard. It is Saturn's Day, Loki's Day, the 24th of Virgo, the 12th of Vine, the 24th of Bear, and the 15th of Temandier. Now let's look at our astrology. Not a whole lot of movement today. The sun is in Virgo, mutable earth, representing industry. The moon is second quarter Aquarius, fixed air, representing rebellion. Mercury is in Virgo, mutable earth, representing linguistic skill. Venus is in Libra, cardinal air, representing harmony. Mars is in Cancer, cardinal water, representing seeking security. Jupiter is in Gemini, mutable air, representing questing. Saturn is retrograding Pisces, mutable water, which is to redefine dreams. Uranus is retrograding in Taurus, fixed earth, representing rebellion. Neptune is retrograding in Pisces, mutable water, representing spiritual awakenings. And Pluto is retrograding in Capricorn, cardinal earth, representing transformations. For our retrogrades for Saturn, it's about reclaiming your authority. For Uranus, reconsider how you rebel. Neptune, reclaim your magic. Pluto, reclaim your ability to regenerate. And for Chiron, restore the heroic spirit. Our moon phase is a waxing gibbous, means that we need to cultivate our intentions. We are in an Aquarius moon now, so the do's are socialize, group projects, seek outside wisdom, and the don'ts are petty issues, personal concerns, and spending too much time with predictable NPCs. Saturnalian and Aquarian energies aren't usually the happiest of bedfellows as they can naturally occupy, opposite ends of the spectrum. However, Saturn is currently retrograding in the dream of Pisces. And then we have the Aquarius moon that's seeking to consult others and explore possibilities. So there is a possibility that if we combine trying to make discoveries or letting others in, putting in their input, we can combine the energies successfully in this way to where they're not trying to pull us in opposite directions. Might be a bit tricky and challenging. Just do your best. That's all anybody can ever do. Today's tarot is the Eight of Swords. The number 8 represents new beginnings. The suit of swords represents the rational masculine, projective energy, the air element, and thought. And the keywords for this are avoid wasting energy on trivialities, feeling trapped by circumstances, being temporarily bound. So there is a sense of emerging from a trap. Sometimes it's a self inflicted trap, sometimes it's a trap that was set by external circumstances or influences. But the thing of it is to focus on what actually matters. You can't always fight off every single detail. You need to focus upon the main points of attack if you have to emerge from something. And if you can avoid focusing on how it feels by any sense of restriction that you're experiencing, but you think more so about what is the way out and you direct your energies towards that, that's a better pathway forward. And of course, remember that even when we do feel stuck, that is still a temporary situation. It doesn't go on forever, not unless someone deliberately wallows in it. Then maybe they get stuck for all of their lives, but they always had the choice to emerge. And so perhaps taking a better look at areas in which maybe we feel trapped and think, okay, is this really the rest of the world doing this to me? Or did I do it to myself? Or have I not chosen appropriate corrective measures to emerge out of this victorious? Looking at our own personal responsibility in the situation and focusing upon what we can productively do, that's going to be a lot better than sometimes wallowing in the feelings of that. We've been getting a lot of swords cards lately, and I recently set out the tarot cards for October, and you'll be seeing a lot of air element energy in those readings next month as well. And it really is speaking to me about, we need to keep our emotions in check. We need to perhaps be leaning a bit more on our intellect and what we're thinking and rational evaluation of things instead of getting lost in just kind of the chaos and the whirlpool that never ends of emotions. So a little bit of food for thought there. And then in today's Celtic Triad, it reads, there are 3 duties of one who is Philly: to teach their people how to live fearless in strength, to teach their people how to avoid the attention of the mighty ones, and to teach their people the laws of nature. So spiritual teachers, which that's one of the roles that the Fili fulfilled, they should build people up. First and foremost, that is your first job. That is how you help them live fearless and in strength. They need to have some confidence in themselves, and that's not going to happen if they get torn down all the time. And then with the issue of avoiding the attention of the mighty ones, there are some people who are really, really literal minded about this, and I've had some very tiresome conversations. So I'm going to say this. Certainly, people have a need to avoid the disapproval of the gods, which, that's not attention that anyone would wish to have. Sometimes it's necessary because it's corrective and that can be instructive, even if it's not enjoyable, but you don't want to be in that position unnecessarily. But this has to be balanced out, in that it's not about avoiding the attention of the gods all of the time, because let's be honest, in the modern era, the gods have been going well out of their way to make themselves known to people. And it's sensible to conclude that, there's a reason for this and that people have had very upbuilding relationships with the gods, very fulfilling relationships. It hasn't been about anything baneful by any means. And so when we are balancing this reality against, the admonition, I think it's pretty clear that avoiding their attention, it's not absolute, it's not literal. And there are many occasions in which seeking their attention is actually a very good thing. Because we are meant to be in relationship with our gods. Our ancestors would never have fallen, for the absolute lie of monotheistic Abrahamic beliefs if their relationship with their own gods had been what it ought to have been. So that's something to think about. And then regarding the laws of nature, in the final analysis, the only laws that actually matter and that are really fully real and have substance are the laws of nature. The laws of nature are always going to prevail because that is the manner in which all of creation, including human beings, actually functions. It isn't arbitrary. It isn't something that's negotiable. It's not subject to circumstances or human will. Those are human laws. Human laws, we think we have some clever ideas and we make laws and then we enforce it against people who break them. And a lot of those laws, don't really serve a whole lot of purpose. And the only reason why some people avoid certain actions is just because they don't want the fines or the jail time or anything else, or just the hassle of dealing with the state. But following the laws of nature, that's something to where you can try to defy nature, but sooner or later nature will bring you back into compliance. It is what is. It doesn't matter if we think it's arbitrary or unfair. Nature functions the way that it does because that's the way it has to function in order for existence to exist. So if we're looking for a fight to pick, picking a fight with natural law and Mother Nature, that's not the one. There are better targets you can be much more successful against. But if you're trying to fight against the natural process of things, no, that's no way to spend a life. Now, for today's magical correspondences, the theme is stress. And this is specifically about relieving stress, not inflicting more upon yourself or inflicting stress upon others. Honestly, I don't think human beings need any advice, let alone magical oomph, in order to accomplish that. We're pretty good at getting ourselves into trouble where stress is concerned. So, this is about relieving it. For this, the color is the blue. The plant is the foxglove. Do not ingest, it is a toxin. I don't want anyone telling me that they, drank foxglove tea and ended up in the hospital and nearly died or anything else like that. You were warned. Always check to make sure if a plant is actually edible before you even think about consuming it in any way. There we go. That's my caveat. Then the animal's the cat. And I chose the cat specifically because there's nothing quite so soothing and that drains the stress away is just petting a cat. Petting a dog is also very good, but there's just something about cats. Cats understand. Cats experience stress in a way that I think is very similar to us. They know it's not good. They know the stress was very mean, and then they purr and they have nice fur, and then you're petting them, and things don't seem so bad. So that was my motivation for choosing cats. And then the crystal is dioptase. It can be very helpful for drawing stressful energies out of your system. It won't eliminate the source of the stress, so you do still have to deal with the cause. But if you're needing help to manage symptoms, dioptase can be helpful for that. Because stress does not have to be the boss of you. It does not have to rule your life. It does not have to characterize everything you experience. You can take charge of this. You can moderate your stress reactions. You do have that power. Now, for today's practice, what spiritual and magical lessons does autumn as a season teach? There's a lot of scope with this. You could go into a lot of different directions as you contemplate that. Then, what lesson can your natal Saturn sign learn from the current Saturn position? Then, your crown chakra, are you actually open to divine connections? An astonishing amount of people are not. So, are you? Because you actually have control over that. You can't, there's no helping what other people do, but you can decide whether or not you are actually opening yourself up to that, or if you're blocking it out. And if you are blocking it out, it could be useful to ask yourself why. Just figure out what's going on there. Then today's hermetic principle is gender. What do you think is the most masculine aspect of autumn, and what do you think is the most feminine aspect of autumn? Because these energies are at play all the time. So looking about at where we see them in action in nature, I think that can help us understand this principle better, and also just be a little bit more aware of our surroundings. And then for the witch's pyramid, today we look at the pinnacle, the very top point. It is the point of release. So what are you releasing this season? What are you letting go of? Then the journal prompt for today. What have been the most and the least helpful books in your spiritual journey? And if you want to share that in the comments below, please, by all means, do so. I mean, you don't know. I mean, it might be actually very helpful to someone else who might be newer in their journey, or might be wanting to investigate certain topics that, they might stumble onto a book that you found very helpful, or a book that you thought was absolute rubbish. Either way, if they could go into that with a little bit more information, it's just doing a kindness for people. So don't be bashful. And of course, don't give anyone down the road. If someone found a book helpful, they found it helpful. It doesn't matter if you didn't think it was helpful. It helped them in some fashion, so it has some value. But I think it would be very interesting to be a little bit more aware of that, because we can't all keep up with every single pagan or magical books that's really out there. And of course, there are some books that aren't explicitly about paganism or spirituality, but they have topics that relate to the things that we care about, and to principles that are in force for us. So yeah, I mean, you never know. You never know when there might be a good book that just helps bring some ideas together. So let me know all about that in the comments below, and talk amongst yourselves. And on that note, have a very magical day. As a reminder, the Blackbird Grimoire does appear on YouTube and Rumble. And of course, you are welcome to join the Oak and Elder Witchery on Gilded. So there's a link for that in the description if you are interested. But I think that does it for today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.